Hi guys, I'm Meadow. I'm Shakespeare Society's next president, and I'm joined by my new committee to introduce this year's Shakespeare Showcase.
Normally, during Shakespeare Week, we would put on this event to highlight the amazing work that our members have created. Due to the pandemic, we've had to change how we work as a society, and how we run events to how we put on our productions.
This year we have decided to use the showcase as an opportunity to show how far we've come in working with online performances and projects, from our very first audio drama to our current time show, presented in the style of a crime documentary.
We have worked so hard as a committee this year in trying to keep the society running and making the most of the online format. It has allowed us to produce more content for our society's YouTube channel, from the weekly Bard Times podcast to the Shakespeare D&D series. We also had the amazing opportunity of hosting the Society's 10th anniversary week, looking back at past shows and memories.
All of our shows and events this year wouldn't have been possible without you guys supporting us through this time.
If you would like to further involve yourself in the society, why not consider joining the committee?
Currently, we are looking for a treasurer, a social secretary, and a publicity officer. If you are interested in the roles or know anyone who might be interested, please contact our Facebook or Instagram page to find out more.
Now join us as we look back at the amazing memories from this year.
And look forward to what is to come.
We hope you enjoy the show.
What bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight, of the revolt the new estate.
States the king the knowledge of the broilers thou didst leave it.
Doubtful, it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, yet to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. For brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel which smoked with bloody execution, like Valor's minion that carved out his passage till he faced the rebel, which ne'er shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head on your battlements.
Worthy gentleman.
Mark, King of Scotland, mark. No sooner justice had, with valour armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
If I say sooth, I must report. They were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe, except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorise another Golgotha. I cannot tell.
Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, of terrible numbers, assisted by this most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bologna's bridegroom lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit, and to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Yes!
No, please, my lord.
No more this Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest.
Please, this is all just a mistake, please.
I may write unto you, my dearest lord. Sweet Mougeron, 'tis he that hath my heart, and Guise usurps it, 'cause I am his wife. Fain would I find some means to speak with him, but cannot, and therefore am enforced to write, that he may come and meet me in some place, where we may one enjoy the other's sight. Oh, would to God, this quill that here doth write had late been plucked from out fair Cupid's wing, that it might print these lines within his heart.
What, all alone, my love? And writing too? I prithee, say to whom thou writest.
To such a one, my lord, as when she reads my lines, will laugh, I fear me, at their good array.
I pray thee, let me see.
Oh, no, my lord, a woman only must partake the secrets of my heart.
But, madam, I must see. Are these your secrets that no man must know?
Oh, pardon me, my lord.
Thou trothless and unjust! What lines are these? Am I grown old? Or is thy lust grown young? Or hath my love been so obscured in thee that others need to comment on my text? Is all my love forgot which held thee dear? Aye, dearer than the apple of mine eye? Is Guy's glory but a cloudy mist in sight and judgment of thy lustful eye? Mortio! Were not the fruit within thy womb, of whose increase I set some longing hope, this wrathful hand should strike thee to the heart? Hence, strumpets! Hide thy head for shame, and fly my presence if thou look to live! Wicked sex, perjured and unjust. Now do I see that from the very first her eyes and look sowed seeds of perjury. But villain, he to whom these lines should go, shall buy her love, even with his dearest blood.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them? To die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye. There's the rub. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come, but that the dread of something after death. Soft you now.
Thou nature art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of customs and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me, for that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lag of a brother? Why bastard? Wherefore base? When my dimensions are as compact, my mind as generous, and my shape as true as honest madame's issue, why brand they us with base? With baseness, bastardy base! Base? Who in the lusty stealth of nature take more composition and fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed go to thee creating a whole tribe of fops, got tween asleep and wake. Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund, as to the legitimate, fine word, legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow, I prosper. Now gods, stand up for bastards.
Hey, Shakespeare Society. It's your birthday.
Happy 10th birthday.
A very, very happy 10th birthday to the Royal Holloway Shakespeare Society.
A huge happy 10th anniversary to the Shakespeare Society.
Happy 10th birthday, Shakespeare Society.
Happy birthday to Royal Holloway Shakespeare Society.
Happy 10th anniversary to the Shakespeare Society.
Happy birthday, Shakespeare Society!
Happy 10th birthday, Royal Holloway Shakespeare Society.
Happy 10th birthday to Royal Holloway Shakespeare Society.
Happy 10-year anniversary to the Royal Holloway Shakespeare Society.
Happy 10th birthday, Royal Holloway Shakespeare Society.
Happy 10th birthday to Royal Holloway Shakespeare Society.
Happy 10th birthday, Royal Holloway Shakespeare Society.
I think my favourite memory of being part of the society is definitely the memories and the people that I've made and met during working on the productions put on by the society. The people that I've met through that have just been the funniest, wackiest, kindest people that I've ever met, and they've made those experiences some of the best that I've ever had at the university. So it's always going to hold a special place in my heart.
My favourite memory of Shakespeare Society, I don't have one specific one, but my favourite one has been really making the lifelong friends that I've made within Shakespeare Society.
I joined the society in 2015 when I was cast in Henry V, which was just an amazing rehearsal process. We all had so much fun in that rehearsal process. I remember walking into that rehearsal room and meeting everyone for the first time and just instantly feeling so welcomed and like so accepted by the society and by the cast, and just thinking, these are my people. I also remember at the end of the process, like waiting to go on stage, and it was Jane Holloway Hall, so we were backstage like freezing but so excited and just thinking, this audience is not going to know what hit them. The shows that I was in had like a very strong musical element as well, so every time I hear the song Seven Nation Army I think about Henry V, and every time I hear the song The End by The Doors, I think about Cymbeline.
One of my favourite moments from the Shakespeare Society, it's a toss-up between two. One of them has to be going to Stratford and visiting Tudor World. That was probably one of the highlights of my life. Hysterical. And the other was the Shakespeare Festival, where we all had Hawaiian shirts on. It was literally the best summer. Had the best time. I miss it so much. For all the people who are still at Royal Holloway at the minute and in the Shakespeare Society, enjoy. It's going to be the best years of your life. And yeah, happy anniversary.
Woo! My favourite moment from Shakespeare Sock was opening night, Richard III, 2017. We had this massive opening party scene. You know, there's confetti, bottles of Prosecco being swung around, everyone taking a swig, you know, the works. But on opening night, someone switched one of the bottles, and I watched my mate Barney Nunn, in slow motion down half a bottle of what he thought was water, but actually turned out to be Prosecco. And I could see in his eyes during the slow-mo him realising what was about to happen. And then I saw him do the rest of the show in a waved fashion, which still to this day makes me crease.
I think my fondest sort of memories of the society was, you know, working on the shows. You know, particularly during my first year, I remember being very sort of involved with the show side of things. in Shakespeare Society, and we did some great shows like the King Lear, Titus Andronicus, Taming of the Shrew, and all of them were just really delightful and sort of, met a bunch of wonderful, talented individuals, and it was just great.
I loved Shakespeare Society because it included all of the things that make Shakespeare's work so great. It was crazy, it was energetic, it was wild, there were moments you weren't sure everybody was going to make it, and it was always so full of booze.
My favourite memory of the Shakespeare Society is when I was given the platform and the opportunity to deliver my own academic discussion, and I had fun introducing people to different interpretations and different adaptations of Shakespeare's plays, and to just make it clear that there's many ways that we can use Shakespeare's texts to make art today. And yeah, that was a blast, and I can't wait to do more. And here's to the next 10 years of Shakespeare Society at Royal Holloway.
Being part of Shakespeare Society has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life at uni. I have met so many incredible people, I have done so many incredible shows and been part of so many amazing socials, and I can't wait to see what else we're going to get up to in the next 10 years.
You mean so much to me, I don't even know where to start. But I do think that the readathon was one of the best things that we did. For me, it kind of embodied everything that the society came to mean to me. It was chaotic, mad, brilliant, a bizarre place sometimes, where literally 24/7 anyone could come and join us and be made to feel welcome. And enjoy reading some Shakespeare. And that would be from the sublime when we had the Hamlet cast reading to the absolute chaotic when we all lose it because there's a character called Butts. I mean, it was wonderful. And yes, uni can be chaotic and intimidating, and I think for me it was an absolute privilege to work with that committee and carve out a little space on campus that felt like home. My name is Alice. I was the first year rep from 2013 to 2014. Something I remember from the society is producing Hamlet in my first year. It was a summer-term production, it was the first show I'd ever done, and I remember going to the bid meeting with the director and a very hastily put together bid pack, and the committee asked us if we were happy to cut the show down to 90 minutes because that's the slot we had for the festival. And we said, yeah, that's fine. It shouldn't be that hard to abridge Hamlet. It was that hard to abridge Hamlet. We didn't even get it down to 90 minutes. It was 2.5 hours in the end. So if you were part of that production, thank you for persevering. If you saw that production, thank you for persevering. And if you were on the committee, thanks for tolerating our very creative interpretation of what an hour and a half is supposed to look like. But also just thank you so much to the society for giving me the confidence to be on a production team. I ended up doing 11 other shows at Royal Holloway as a DSM, as a stage manager, as an assistant director and a producer, and I never would have had that courage and that confidence without Foundation as a first year rep and as a producer in my first year. So thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate it, and congratulations on 10 amazing years.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players.
They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts.
His acts being 7 ages.
At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms.
And then the whining schoolboy.
With his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover sighing like the furnace, with a woeful ballad to his mistress's eyebrow.
Then a soldier, full of strange oaths.
And bearded like the pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth.
And then the justice in fair round belly, with good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances.
And so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon.
With spectacles on nose and pouch on side.
His youthful hose, well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank.
And his big manly voice chang again towards childish treble pipes and whistles in his sound.
Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history,
is second childishness and mere oblivion.
Sans teeth.
Sans eyes.
Sans taste.
Sans everything.
Good job, buddy.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Bard Times. This is your host Jack Hardman and our other host Cassie Dixon. Say hi, Cassie.
Hi everyone.
So, hello Cassie, how are you doing?
I am doing great, thanks Jack. When worlds collide, right?
Yeah, I mean this is, it's a very special episode of Bard Times that we have here today, everyone. This is, it's very rare that the two of us actually get to do this together. I mean, it's not rare, it's never happened before. So, yeah, pedantics. Right, so Cassie, I have some questions for you, as you do for me, as to kind of podcasts and podcasts in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, so let's start it off. So although I would love to take credit for Bard Times, I think it was you and your predecessor who actually brought up the idea of a podcast that Shakespeare was going to do as a way to kind of represent the different sides of the society, being kind of theatre, but also the academics. And I wanted to basically ask you what inspired you as to come up with that idea.
Well, I unfortunately can't take credit for this either. In a way, I didn't conceive the podcast, but I gave birth to it, if that makes sense.
A horrible analogy.
We have become parents of this podcast. But no, yes, one of my predecessors did come up with the idea, and during the handover at the beginning of the year, when I took over this education role, the idea of the podcast was brought up to me in that meeting, and I latched onto it because I thought, what better way to spread awareness of lesser known aspects of Shakespeare than a podcast during a global pandemic? It will reach audiences without them having to do anything or be anywhere, and it's just a great way of remote learning, which is a bit fun as well, and a way of getting everybody involved with it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. For those of you that didn't know, our original name for the podcast was going to be Shakespeare, which, although I absolutely adore, I think Bard Times has got a special home in our hearts.
It does indeed, and I can't really say that Shakespeare is also in my heart. Unfortunately, I vetoed that very quickly. But I think Bard Times has become almost a household name at this point, which is quite nice.
Yeah, we're practically famous.
Right?
I'm pretty sure we have our regular listeners include like Ed Sheeran.
Oh, definitely.
Obama.
Oh, don't name drop all of them. No.
No, it's true. We'll make people jealous.
So leading on from the focus on the pandemic, how have you found co-hosting a podcast during this last year, Jack?
I mean, I don't know about you. I think the thing that has really kind of, which I really enjoy about it, and the thing that has kind of really resonated with me while doing this and while learning more about it is it is a really good opportunity to talk to some very intelligent people, very lovely people about things that I don't know that much about. I think thinking back to some of the episodes where I've talked about things that I'm very much out of my depth with, thinking back to my episode with James Shannon, where we talked about a lot of kind of Greek mythology and stuff like that, I learned a lot during that episode, and also like my episode with Lolly Hayes, where we talked about kind of gender representation through makeup and kind of the expectations through makeup. And again, something I don't know an awful lot about. And so yeah, I think that's probably my favorite part of the podcast is basically talking to people who know a lot more about things than me, because I'm a scientist, and so I unless it has a tail, I'm not particularly knowledgeable about it.
I think that's definitely something that came out of the podcast this year. It has been a learning experience for both of us in that regard, but also the people who come on, and it's just a way of bouncing ideas off of each other that's just really lovely.
Raise my mother. Raise Sycorax. Raise my mother.
First, you see two very large talons. Feet begin to kind of crawl their way through the portal.
And then I'm violently sick.
I've just killed my zombie self.
Yes. They got my nose wrong.
I feel so bad. She just shakes, tries to get the water off.
Macbeth, son of Beth.
Show me the money. That's a nat 20.
Attach myself to Hamlet.
Oh god.
Guys, let's hit the crystal.
Dragon, you just hear.
It just looks at you and just steps back ever so slightly as your sword just comes crashing down and chinks against the carpet below.
As I fire the lightning at it, I turn to Ophelia and go, "Don't worry, performance issues are nothing to be embarrassed about."
Ready for round 2?
Oh my god.
Oh, you made me cry.
We called him the Duke. He was no John Wayne, but he could charm a room of bureaucrats at 20 paces. I remember hearing he was dead, and then the headlines started.
The Duke. A name that for many people once brought comfort and pride is now a symbol of abuse and manipulation.
Let us write good angel on the devil's horn.
In 2020, Isabella Vincentio, the widow of the Duke, came forward with stories about her husband behind closed doors.
It's hard to remember a time before those headlines these days.
What did the Duke care as long as he came out on top?
The young widow's claims shocked the nation and caused an international stir amongst the late leader's allies. Her story soon gained momentum, with more witnesses coming forward to expose the scandals surrounding the Duke's political and personal corruption.
He gave the PR guy a run for his money, I can tell you.
It's much more palatable phrasing it like that, don't you think?
How could a man with such charisma and likability hide his true colours for so long? How could such a high-profile figure escape even suspicion?
We survived, which is more than I can say for when Angelo took charge. God awful man.
Blood. Thou art blood.
They're boys, nothing more, and we're the ones left to pick up the pieces of their broken toys.
To discover the truth, we've gone back to where it is said to have begun, 2006. An unassuming year for many, but for Isabella Vincentio, it was the start of a nightmare. We've talked to the people closest to the Duke to discover the truth as to why his crimes went so long without punishment, justice, or detection.
You can read the headlines all you want, but this was going on for much longer than everyone thought.
Thank you all for joining us for watching this year's Shakespeare Showcase.
We hope that you've enjoyed celebrating all that this society has achieved.
With us as your committee.
This past year has been harder than anyone could have ever predicted.
And for that, we are all here to say a massive thank you for supporting us and taking part.
Everything we've achieved this year is thanks to you guys.
Without the crews to run and design our shows,
the casts to give their incredible performances,
or the members who've taken part in our socials, academic events or fundraisers,
we would not have been able to achieve everything that we have been able to this year. And as we hand over to another year of committee members,
we would like to send our best wishes to you all for the future.
And to paraphrase Shakespeare himself quickly,
come, our members, our committee, and our friends.
When we are forth, bid us farewell and smile.
Have a great summer.